So this is a very, very special treat. A lot of my guests on the show come on for free. There's no charge. They volunteer their time. Master Ken is such a big star that, I mean, getting to him through his agent, and I'm not even going to tell you what it cost me to get him on, but sir, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
Thank you. Master Ken, I wanted to get you on my COVID Candid Talk, where I'm talking to world-renowned, influencers and thought leaders, and obviously, those are the people below you as far as they're subservient to where you're at. So, but I would like to ask you, some not obvious questions, but some personal questions, if I can. And I can't believe how nervous.
The show is called COVID Camera.
No, COVID Candid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Candid. Which sounds like Candid Camera.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You may want to write that down as a show idea. You're on COVID Camera.
Wow.
You could go around and you could walk up to someone and cough on them, and then see their reaction. And then when they get really upset, you say, "Smile. You're on COVID Camera."
Wow. This is. Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, just jot that down.
That's freaking awesome.
Also, I don't want to be the grammar Nazi, but I think you have a misspelling on your shirt.
Yeah, it's weird. It's supposed to be no fear, and they put the K in the W. Yeah.
When you do it like that, when you did what you just did, it says no ear.
Wow.
It's like that's something for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, and also maybe Tyson Holyfield, no ear.
Yeah,
yeah.
All those guys, all those those famous one-eared philosophers.
Exactly. Master Ken, in all seriousness, how are you doing with this? With what's going on, the pandemic, the lockdown?
Well, it's we have taken a little bit of hit in business, so we are rolling with that.
Right.
On the one hand, I've been teaching the power of Ameridote through the internets for many, many years, and people criticize me for it. Everyone said, "Oh, you can't learn martial arts through the YouTubes," even though I've been teaching it. Now look at that. One worldwide crisis later, everybody's on a Zoom class, right, saying how great it is.
Fucking copying you.
Yeah. But the live appearances have been put on hold. I can't do as many live appearances, so hopefully that'll start back up at some point. But in the meantime, it's given me a lot of time to work on new techniques and develop other business avenues. Thinking about putting a drive-through window in my dojo.
How would that work?
Drive up,
right?
And they can order a special. Say, give me the number 3, and I'm like, okay, wrist grab to finger break to eye poke to throat rip.
Right. Because of
that'll be $8.
I like that idea, but obviously, like everything they order would be mostly head and neck type servings because they're in a car. You couldn't.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Unless because you're very famous for the groin strikes. So how would you?
Sure. Yeah. They would have to. We'd have to figure out, unless they want to drive up on like a double-decker bus or something where I can reach different parts of their body, or if they want to, it could be a walk-up window. But either way, we'll have like a hazmat suit with a big rubber glove, and I'll just reach out and grab and smack them around, teach them a couple of lessons, and then send them on their way.
I like it. I think it'll take off. I mean,
why not? Try.
You listen. You pretty much pioneered the martial art via YouTube. Like you said, you were doing it years before, and now everybody's on Zoom and YouTube teaching and stuff like that. So, trying to. What do you think of? Have you watched any of this other stuff? I mean, are people like ripping you off and copying your shit? I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen people keep sending me rip-offs of my ideas. And, it's the price of being wise, and the price of being the first, the price of being ahead of my time. But the key is to keep innovating, keep coming up with ideas, I have a lot of techniques that I teach that are groundbreaking, I would dare say, groundbreaking. I've been teaching people how to maintain social distance and then to fight when people break that distance. You want to have some mid-range techniques, right? Because it's hard to fight people from 6 feet away. If Bob is 6 feet away, that's about 6 feet. And I just say, sometimes if I feel like someone is getting close to me at the Walmart, I'll just yell, "Kill face." So he didn't move.
Nice.
That's sort of that's sort of a verbal barrier.
Right.
But then if people are breaking that barrier, another thing I can do, I recommend that if someone has a sword or a long knife, just sort of carrying it between their thighs here.
Right.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. See how I move it with my body?
Right.
That way, if they get too close, they get stabbed.
Right.
And I move my hands free to also attack vital targets. So
Right.
you have to practice walking with it, though. I would practice walking around the house like
Right.
this, pinching your thighs together, kind of getting used to just sort of practicing walking normally.
Would you start with something small? That at least seems heavy and you need a lot of strength and coordination. Would you start with maybe a cucumber or a banana, something smaller?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, because if you get good at that, then you can also toss a salad.
Wow. Wow. I'm gonna have to X-rate this this podcast, but I'm digging it. Are you when you go out, are you doing mask, gloves, the whole 9 yards? What's your protocol?
I will wear a mask depending on what the situation is, depending on where people are. But I've been doing that for a while just because I don't like being hassled.
Right.
I'm very famous.
Right. So you're
It's
concealing identity.
yeah. I'll walk around. I've got, for instance, got a bandana here. I got something appropriately patriotic,
Mm,
and so I'll wear that.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'll wear that sometimes. But again, that's mostly to keep people from asking for autographs and selfies and things when I'm just in there trying to get my, I'm just there for a proctology appointment. And next thing I know, the doctor is like, "Hey, while you're here,
Would you sign this? Ridiculous. If you were going to hold up a bank during this time, because like cash flows, obviously a problem, would you wear a mask on top of the mask as a bank robber? How have you thought that through, or what are your thoughts on that?
good question." I might not wear a mask
That would really fuck them up.
because that would surprise them, right? The only guy who's going to expect if you got 7 people in line and one of them doesn't have a mask, security guard is thinking, well, definitely not that guy.
Right.
Because the cameras going to catch him. And the next thing you know, give me all your money, Poncho.
Wow. You are a very, very strategic, deep thinker. I love that. And I dig that mask. Now, where's HQ for you? Where's headquarters for you?
We're still here in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And what's the lockdown situation there?
Lockdown situation, there's actually going to be a press conference later this afternoon where the governor is going to let us know if the most recent lockdown date of the 15th is going to be extended, or if it's going to be if we're free to begin opening back up. And then I assume there will be various stages,
Right.
where I'm allowed to fight 3 people, and then I'm allowed to fight 5 people, and then I'm allowed to fight 7 people, and just the number of people that I'm allowed to fight at once. Because right now, I would love to get in a gang fight.
Right.
but we'd be breaking the rules. So if I was surrounded by 11 people, I'd be like, guys, 3 at a time. Okay. It's got to be 3 at a time. Otherwise, we're violating the rules.
Fascinating. Question for you. You mentioned this a little bit early in the beginning that, you know, you've been working on some new techniques and some new programs. What's the best thing about the lockdown for you or people you know?
Well, the best thing I would say is that the chance of random attacks is lower because fewer people are out.
Right.
Right. The downside is that whoever you're locked up with could actually be driven insane and go after you.
Right.
So there is a higher probability of either a roommate or a loved one trying to murder you in your sleep, or of you attacking yourself.
Right.
You might just get so sick of yourself, you go after yourself. You know, you're just sitting around relaxing in your living room, and next thing you know,
Choking yourself out. Yeah.
you're choking yourself out. So it's a balance. It's a balance. So just adapting techniques. You know, adapting techniques. You don't have to be as alert walking around outside. You can be on your phone doing your YouTubes and your snatch chats and stuff. But if you're at home, I would say you gotta be more alert than previously.
Right. Because you know the people there, they can get close to you. And next thing you know, how much closer can you get if you attack yourself? Like you're.
Yeah, I mean, that's about, and really, you can get inside yourself if you really try. So there's a lot of danger. There's a lot of danger of penetration there. So if this is my roommate or my spouse or my child or whatever, I would recommend entering every room just like this.
Right.
Just always back to the wall. Just keep an eye on it. You can say, "How are you, spouse of mine that I trust and love?"
I like it.
I would recommend trying to do. I call that a wall crawl. Try to just wall crawl into as many rooms as possible.
Nice. Nice. Is there more to the wall crawl as far as is that just an indexing thing so you know what's behind you at all times? You don't maybe go through a door and fall down some stairs, or is there another strategy to the wall crawl?
Yeah, try to lead with fingers and toes,
Mm.
especially if you have a furnace,
Mm.
because you don't want to lead with something that you can't afford to burn. So you get a little sizzle on your fingertips, that'll heal fine, but you don't want to lead with your face or your groin.
Right.
Todd found that out the hard way. So that's one way that I would recommend is to just lead with something you can lose.
Mm. I like it. I like that. There's so much misinformation, so much disinformation out there. Where are you getting your information and how are you verifying it?
Well, yeah, I don't trust mainstream media, so I get a lot of my information on YouTube. I'll tell you, most of my information is from eavesdropping.
Mm. Even during the pandemic.
That way I know it's not a corporately influenced opinion. I listen in on conversations. I'll just sort of stick my head up. I hear people talking and walking by. I'll just sort of stick my head out the window and just listen to them and take some notes. And then maybe I'll go to the gas station and then overhear somebody else and then sort of cross-reference everything. And from doing that, I've already learned that one of the major causes of what's going on is 5G, the 5G internet, which is delivered by murder hornets. A lot of people don't know that, but they've been trained to build the towers. So a lot of the 5G towers have been built by murder hornets, and that is actually a big. I mean, I don't want to break any serious news on your show and get you in trouble.
Right.
People might want to consider looking into 5G murder hornets.
Holy shit. I had heard about both of them. I didn't know they were kind of in cahoots.
A lot of people don't see the connection.
The timing's there. It makes perfect sense. And this is, again, not mainstream media manipulation. This is actual people on the ground that you heard. You actually heard these conversations. So I dig it. What bothers you the most about things that are going on?
I guess probably the idea that everybody is convinced that they're an authority on things. That's pretty frustrating. A lot of people suddenly think that they can, that they know the way, they know the cure, or they know that they know what everyone should do. I know they're wrong because I know what everyone should do.
Hmm.
That's the way I know. And if they think something that I don't agree with, then they're definitely wrong.
Right. Which is amazing, because my next question, without making this political, if you were put in charge of the USA and then the world, someone just said, hey, we're in DC, we can't figure this shit out. Let's ask Master Ken for a strategy. What would you do right away? What would you change right away? What are some of your strategies to get the world back going?
I mean, I would probably have people travel in groups. They can be 6 feet apart and wear masks if they want, but they would break down into whatever you want to call them, tribes, gangs, things like that. And then they would battle each other to the death. We'd start in large cities and then work out to the rural areas. And then just, in a few months, those people that survive inherit what's left.
Wow. I like that.
It's population control and it's survival of the fittest. So the people who are the strongest and who most likely have the strongest immune systems, that way they run the earth. That way we have a stronger country and a stronger planet.
I dig it. I like that. I like that. What has been the most challenging thing for you throughout this entire thing?
Finding a good plumber. I've been eating a lot of canned food, and it's not good for the system inside the dojo or inside me. So things have been backed up a lot, and
Wow.
a lot of the plumbers. I probably shouldn't describe the situation to them. I should just say, "Hey, I got a problem," and have them come over. But I keep explaining how bad the sewage backup is here, and the volume and the smell and everything. And they say, call somebody else.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Are there any of aside from that sword technique for people encroaching on 6 feet, are there any other techniques or things that you could show or demonstrate? Any tips for any of our followers, listeners?
Yeah, I would say, because you're going to run into some attackers that are going to have masks on, and you need to understand how to use that against them. Just because somebody has a mask on doesn't mean they're a regular civilian. So you're going to want to be able to defend against them. Someone comes up to me, breaking social distance, being aggressive toward me, you can just pull the mask up over their eyes.
Wow.
Okay, then when they can't see, just pop them. Okay. You may want to access you may want to affect their oxygen. Okay, grabbing the mask again, still pulling up over eyes, but now you have access here. You have so you have something called the spear, don't you? Some sort of spear thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So if anybody's ever seen a spear hand, I actually have two. I named my spears. Okay, this one is Brit and this one is me. So you can go with the Britney Spears.
Right.
Just double right there, right into the throat. A lot of different ways to attack. You can wrap it. You can pull it down. Okay, you got to hold your breath while you do that. You don't want to breathe it in, and then just choke them with their own mask, right? If you're the one that has the mask, another thing you can do, say you've got your mask, and someone comes up and is threatening you. What you want to do is you put the mask over their eyes, okay?
Right.
Knife right into the carotid artery here, and stab down. You want to twist to really open that up. Now, a lot of blood is going to spray out. So then take your mask and just put it right on the wound to keep it from spraying in your face, okay?
Right.
Then you can shove this in the eye to get to the brain, you know, cause brain death, essentially. And then once you're done with that, then you just put your mask right back on.
Wow. Wow, that's some very, very advanced techniques there. Strategic. I mean, you are a genius. You're a combat genius. Like most people would never have thought of pulling the mask up over the eyes. And what a shock!
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone do it yet. I think I'm the first one.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that you're innovating at this level. Master Ken, these candid COVID, I don't even know what the name of the show is anymore, talks, we keep them around.
Remember, you're on COVID camera.
Dig it. And
you got to do that. You got to kind of like, this is in sign language and this is seeds. So you go, you're on COVID camera.
And unbelievable. I love it. Last question. Is there anything, a final message to everyone listening? You got millions of fans. We're probably going to crash my server when I release this and they hear you're on it. But any final message for our fans and listeners?
You know, I would say to make sure to remember to stay positive during this time, to also to not be lazy. Don't use this as an excuse. A lot of people think this is a coronication. This isn't an excuse to be lax in your training. So find ways to train, even if you have, whatever you have to do. If you have to, I mean, you haven't trained in a while, you haven't grappled, you haven't fought, and your only option is an alley cat. Guess what? You're going to have to fight an alley cat today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if all you've got in your backyard is a young sapling tree, guess you're going to have to fight that tree. The fight is wherever you make it. Fight is wherever you take it.
Wow. Sir, it was an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I can't believe how, of all the guests I've had, and I've had some famous people on, I'm the most nervous I've ever been talking to you. And I think part of it is because I can smell death on you, and I'm just grateful that I'm protected through the internet.
That is probably technically the sewage backup I mentioned earlier, but it's probably both. It's probably my dangerousness, and also I still haven't fixed the toilet.
Excellent. Master Ken, thank you, sir.
No ear.
Damn it. I can never wear this shirt again. Okay, buddy. Be safe.